This electric SUV remained after Fisker's Chapter 11 liquidation plan. In a court-approved fleet agreement, Fisker granted American Lease a limited software license for relevant code tied to vehicle operability and post-sale improvements. The vehicles remained while the debtors entered liquidation. So what responsibilities remained with Fisker after it outsourced assembly? This is the failure docket, today the Fisker Ocean. A prominent February 2024 review entered the public conversation. Keep that date in mind. In Fisker's first sales year, cost of revenue exceeded revenue by hundreds of millions. How did that happen? What did liquidation end, and what did the fleet agreement address? Start with 2020. In 2020, Fisker went public through a SPAC merger carrying a pro forma equity value of about $2.9 billion. That was the 2020 deal value, not a collapse era valuation. By June 2023, non-affiliate voting stock had a market value near $1.2 billion. By year-end, stockholders' equity was negative. Fisker called its model asset-light. Magna Steyr would manufacture the Ocean in Graz, Austria. Fisker signed the contract in June 2021. Production began in November 2022. The goal was to use an experienced assembler, lower upfront costs, and move faster. But the Austrian-built Ocean was ineligible for the U.S. retail clean vehicle credit. Fisker said automakers optimizing eligibility could gain an advantage. Retail deliveries began in the second quarter of 2023. The audited filing reports 4,847 deliveries, net of returns, that year. A preliminary release reports 10,193 Oceans produced. Production and audited net deliveries are different categories. Fisker recognized $272.9 million in revenue. Cost of revenue was $558.8 million. Cost of revenue exceeded revenue by $285.9 million. That produced negative gross profit before selling, general, and administrative expenses. Fisker also recorded a $232.7 million inventory write-down, including reduced expected selling prices. That was not a per-vehicle manufacturing cost calculation. The separate full-year net loss was $939.9 million. Gross profit, inventory valuation, and net loss are different measures. A manufacturing agreement moved assembly. It did not eliminate Fisker's company-level responsibilities. Fisker's filing describes over-the-air update obligations and coordination with software vendors and suppliers. Service could use certified third parties or dealers. Fisker warned that partners might lack experience and resources as volume grew. Sales began through a direct-to-consumer model. In January 2024, Fisker announced a traditional dealer model. The filing identified several conditions for continued operation: new financing, an OEM partnership, and cash from vehicle sales. It never named the prospective OEM. Magna manufactured the Ocean. Fisker retained major responsibilities for sales, reporting, liquidity, and coordinating software, suppliers, service, and recalls. Third parties remained involved. The record does not prove that every responsibility failed. As of July 24, 2026, the record lists 6 recall campaigns, 4 unique investigation action numbers, and 883 consumer complaints for the 2023 Ocean. Keep those categories apart. Complaints are unadjudicated reports. Investigations are agency inquiries. Neither is automatically a proven defect. 4 campaigns list over-the-air remedies. They cover warning light displays, drive power control software, regenerative braking, and a later park and rollaway issue. 2 campaigns involved physical components, exterior door handles, and the cabin electric water pump. The record does not show that every Ocean had every issue, or that every remedy succeeded. Now place the review on that timeline. without drawing a causal arrow. On February 18, 2024, Autofocus published an Ocean review presented by Marks Brownlee titled, "This is the worst car I've ever reviewed." It was one reviewer's opinion about one test car. No preserved primary source establishes that the review caused or accelerated Fisker's collapse. Look at the dates. A late filing triggered a covenant default in November 2023. NYSE opened breaking and unintended movement inquiries before the review. The going concern warning followed on February 29th. The missed interest payment followed on March 15th. The preserved 10K and bankruptcy materials do not identify the review as a cause. They discuss liquidity, defaults, vehicle sales, and a needed OEM partnership. The review is a dated opinion marker, not a causal finding. For documented pressure, follow the books and cash. Fisker disclosed material weaknesses in internal control over financial reporting. PwC issued an adverse opinion on those controls. A material weakness means a material misstatement might not be prevented or detected on time. It is not a fraud finding. PwC still gave an unqualified opinion on Fisker's 2023 financial statements. Keep those opinions separate. The delayed third-quarter filing triggered a covenant default on November 13, 2023. That default was waived 9 days later. Fisker ended 2022 with $736.5 million in cash. 1 year later, it had $325.5 million. By April 16, 2024, unrestricted cash was $53.9 million. Against that sat about $1.227 billion in year-end debt. Fisker warned of substantial doubt about its ability to continue as a going concern. It said available liquidity would not cover current obligations for at least 12 months from the filing. Its disclosed paths included financing, an OEM partnership, vehicle sale cash, debt restructuring, and expense cuts. On March 15th, Fisker missed an $8.4 million interest payment on its 2026 notes. After the grace period, that became an event of default and cross-defaulted the 2025 notes. The filings also record waivers and forbearance. On March 18th, Fisker disclosed a commitment for up to $166.67 million in principal. Discounted gross proceeds could reach $150 million. The same update announced a 6-week production pause to align inventory and advance financing initiatives. A commitment is not cash received. The later 10K says no notes had been funded by its filing date. On March 25th, the New York Stock Exchange suspended trading for an abnormally low price. In April, shares moved to the OTC pink market. Cash was shrinking. Fisker had missed interest, moved off the NYSE, and still depended on several survival conditions. Fisker Group filed for Chapter 11 on June 17, 2024. Fisker and other U.S. subsidiaries followed 2 days later. 6 debtors were jointly administered in federal bankruptcy court in Delaware. This was not a Chapter 7 conversion. The court confirmed a Chapter 11 plan of liquidation. Confirmation came October 16th. The plan became effective October 17th, 2024. It was designed to wind down debtor affairs and distribute or administer remaining assets. The agreement covered completed U.S. and Canada-configured Oceans. The buyer was American Lease LLC. It covered up to 3,231 vehicles, with a maximum aggregate price of $46.25 million. Prices were tiered. MCO vehicles in reasonably good working order were $16,500. Previously titled vehicles were $3,200. Damaged vehicles carried a minimum value of $2,500, adjustable under agreed criteria. The buyer paid only for delivered units. The two maxima do not establish one average price. Fisker also granted a royalty-free, non-exclusive, non-assignable, and non-sublicensable software license. It covered relevant code as necessary or required for those vehicles' operability and post-sale improvements. That was not all Fisker intellectual property. It does not prove that every ocean remained operable. The liquidation plan addressed debtor affairs. The fleet agreement separately addressed vehicles and limited software rights. A factory contract can move assembly. It cannot eliminate the automaker's company-level responsibilities. Magna manufactured the ocean. Fisker retained major responsibilities for sales, reporting, liquidity, and coordinating software, suppliers, service, and recalls. Getting the ocean built was only one part of the challenge. The record also documents safety, financial control, debt, distribution, and support obligations. Fisker reached production and customer deliveries. Its later filings show how much company-level work remained behind the car. That is the editorial verdict behind this title. Fisker built a car faster than a company. The fleet sale does not establish every ocean's condition. It addressed completed vehicles and limited software rights. This has been the failure docket. Next time, Steward Healthcare, a different product with a different record. Until then, ask what institution stands behind the things you buy.